like Jordans, play me like Spartan, do it all for me. Girl, you're the vision of what I like, and I promise I'll be yours. Tell me your joys and your problems. I'll be more than the man for you. I'll be your friend.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I normally don't like doing this. I don't like politicizing things, but I think enough is enough, and I can't sit idly by while things I believe in and the things I stand for are not being addressed. So to start off, I want to say prayers and condolences out to Gerald Ford, who was killed yesterday by the police. Prayers to you and your family. Rest well, King. So that's what this video is going to be about. I hope it's not long, but I'm sick. I'm sick and tired of innocent black people being killed by anybody, really, but more specifically at the hands of the people who swore to protect and to serve us. I'm sick. I'm sick of white people, yes, white people, being able to bring guns and violence to protests and nothing happens to them. When there is a protest and outrage for the another death by the hands of the police, those people are being tear gassed and tased and shot at. How is that fair? How does that make sense? And a lot of the times people are like, when they hear Black Lives Matter, they're like, all lives matter, all lives matter. Well, in this country, no, it doesn't seem like that. No, it doesn't. Because nobody seems to care when innocent black lives are being murdered or the rights of black people is being constantly infringed on. Nobody seems to care, except for us black people. But then again, who are we? It's frustrating. The Black Lives Matter movement wasn't something to say, oh, if you're not black, your life doesn't matter. It was in the response to the fact that apparently in this country, if you're black, your life means nothing. If you're black, you telling a police officer that you can't breathe doesn't mean anything. Being black means that you getting pulled over for a busted tail light automatically equates to a death sentence. That's what being black in America is. Being black in America is walking into a room and having Becky and Susan and Karen clutch their bag like you're some kind of criminal. Being black in America is being asked, oh, are you the assistant? Are you the janitor? Like you're not a college educated person whose company they're standing in. Being black in America is being guilty until proven guilty. Being guilty until being proven not guilty and still being incarcerated. Being black in America is using your aunt or grandma's address so you can send your kids to a better school and having to serve, I think it was years in prison, while Karen bought her daughter into an institution and is only going to serve 2 months of probation. Being black in America is having your culture taken for granted, abused, and having some white person put their name on it and claim it as theirs. Being black in America is being colonized every day. And to what I mean by that is, when you're black in America, you don't just get to be Lynette, or you don't get to be you are an entity. You are the group. The actions of you represent the actions of the whole, and that's it, that's all. And not even in the positive way, because nobody's going to tell you that the most educated demographic of people in America are black women. No one's going to tell you that, but that is a fact. It's exhausting, and it's like being colonized, because when you colonize something, you take over it, strip it of resources. You either keep it as a territory or you leave it to fend for itself. Being black in America is, we were stolen and brought here. They used us for manual labor to build their economy and their infrastructure. Then they left us to fend for ourselves. But in that same breath, they continue to colonize us. Every day we have to fight and prove our right to be here, to be treated like humans. Every day, as a black person, we have to defend our actions while allowing the people who are actually doing the transgression to just be free, consequence free. When white people kill us, it's not, you killed this person, you're in trouble. It's, well, what was the reason you killed them? Because there's always a reason. He looked like he was trespassing. Ahmaud Arbery, they said he looked like he was trespassing, when the owner of the property said that, from that person's own mouth, said that he was not trespassing. That person did not call the police because they thought he was trespassing. Being black in America means that you can't run freely, because running is suspicious. You're black. You can't eat where you want to eat because that's suspicious. You're black. You can't dress how you want to dress because that's suspicious. And you can't go to the store and buy what you want because that's suspicious. Your right to breathe and live on this earth is all up to the white man, apparently. And you can disagree with me if you want to, but that's the actions that I was shown and that was proven to me. The fact of the matter is, white people don't have any consequences for their actions, and that's why they keep doing it. Other people of color go through a struggle, but they're so worried about comparing struggles to each other that they don't realize that we're only further perpetuating division that the white man wants. It's also that we have this fake outrage that goes on because of Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and whatever else social media is. We have people who, they're so outraged, they're so appalled, they can't even believe these things happen. But then when they're faced with it, face to face, they don't say nothing. They don't do nothing. When they hear anti-blackness and racial injustices happening in front of them, and this is not even the actions, we're talking about words, they don't say nothing. They don't tell that person who did it or said it to be like, hey, that's not cool, don't do that, be better. They don't do that. But they're on Twitter like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. You're better than me because I would have. And it's like, would you have? Would you have? I'm disgusted. I'm sick to my stomach. I have 2 brothers. Hell, I'm black myself. Because apparently, this don't know, being racist and anti-black doesn't know a gender. Police brutality don't know a gender. If you're black, you're wrong. If you're darker than the color of mayonnaise, you're wrong. So say their names. Say their names. Because when Trayvon Martin was killed in 2012, we swore it would never happen again. We swore that they would change, that it would be better. And 8 years later, we had a man lynched in February, and nobody was even going to say anything unless the video got leaked. We had a white woman kill her autistic son and blame it on black people. And with video proof, they still tried to blame it on black people. Yesterday we had a man being arrested by the police, and the police decided that they were going to sit on this man's neck for 7 minutes while he's trying to tell them that he can't breathe. So when people ask me why am I so mad and why do I hate this fucking country, and I can say that I hate this country, this is why. Because they don't have no respect for me. They don't have no respect for my people. They have no respect. When bitches want to sit here and say, and excuse my language, when people want to sit here and say, make America great again, tell me, when was America great? Was it during slavery? Was it during the mass incarceration of minority people? Was it during Jim Crow, civil rights movement? And let's not forget, because let me just address this now. White people always want to say, well, you guys had Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King wasn't killed because he was a civil rights activist. He was killed because he was a threat to capitalism. He was a threat because he demanded respect and equal work hours and pay in respectable conditions. That's what he was killed for. Malcolm X, however, was killed for civil rights behavior, but that's because he was so adamant and so willing to risk it all for the cause, and he did that. Malcolm X said it best: the newspapers will have you hating the oppressed and loving the oppressor. And that's exactly what's happening, because everybody gets to defend white people when they do dumb shit, when they shoot up schools and kill children and make it unsafe to be in this country. We're supposed to just chalk it up to mental illness. But when a black person walks down the street with a hoodie on, he's guilty. He was a criminal. If that person ever got arrested, even if it was just for an unpaid parking ticket, they're gonna put that person's mugshot over there. Trayvon Martin was killed for having Skittles and tea. Sandra Bland was pulled over, never really explained to her what she was being detained for. And when she was yelling that she couldn't breathe, they faked her death and told everybody it was a suicide. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's all I want to know. Make it make sense. Gerald Ford wrote a check at a grocery store, and some clerk thought it was invalid or a bad check, and so he called the police, and that man lost his life for a check that was fine. And yeah, I'm only naming a few names, but Breonna Taylor was in her house when the police busted in and let off, I think it was 40 to 80 rounds, killing her and her boyfriend and leaving her with wounds. And when people asked for justice, the police said, we were just doing her job. What is your job? Is your job to bust into people's homes and kill them? Is that your job? Because if it is, you need a new job, boo. We don't need the police. If that's your job, we don't need the police. And now you have a whole race of people who would rather take matters into their own hands than call the police. That's what you have when we constantly allow these people to get away with what it is. Now, I could talk about this forever. I really don't want to. I'm sick. I'm so sick. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to make it better. All I know is we gotta stop falling for the okie doke. We gotta stop falling for the, oh, they didn't mean it. Next time will be better. Let's just forgive them. We have to stop that. And we have to acknowledge that a wrong was done and that there needs to be consequences for this wrong. And until there are consequences for this wrong, we don't have nothing to say to y'all. We ain't got no respect. And I'm going to scream it from the rooftops. Black Lives Matter. I am black and I am proud. And I will never yield being black or proud. So, until this country to get it together, I'm going to keep my views. And I'm going to end this now before I get upset. Or more upset. And I'm going to leave you with this. Stop defending the actions and allowing sorry-ass apologies to make unforgivable acts forgivable. I don't care the Gina Rodriguez's, the J-Lo's, the Karens, the Susans, the Beckys, all of them need to get theirs. They need to get their karma, and they need to be held accountable for their actions. So say as you will. Take this as you may. I don't care. We need to be better. And that's just the end of it. We need to be better.
It's a good night. How it smells nice on a pillowcase. And I light all up when I see you walking by. I know that life ain't perfect.